Our next item on the agenda is a resolution in support of the proposed youth homeless shelter that Superintendent Kingsley alluded to earlier. Can I get a motion in support of the resolution? Go ahead, Nate.
I move that the board approve and adopt the resolution in support of the proposed youth homeless shelter in Larimer County.
Excellent. Can I get a second on that? Looks like DJ really wants to second that, so we'll give it to him. I would like to have the resolution read if we can, and then I believe we have some comments from the staff. Go ahead. You want to read it, Kristen?
If nobody else does, I'm happy to.
Go ahead.
All right. Resolution of the Poudre School Board of Education in support of the proposed youth shelter in Larimer County. Whereas, there is a regional collaboration focused on providing youth and young adults experiencing homelessness with a drop-in center to access resources and support, along with an overnight shelter to support safety and well-being for this vulnerable population. And whereas, the Poudre School District Board of Education recognizes that the youth shelter and drop-in centers will serve some of the most vulnerable youth and young adults in our region and provide essential wraparound supportive services and resources. And whereas, in Northern Colorado in 2021-2022, school districts identified over 300 students who were unaccompanied in our region. And whereas, the Board of Education intends this resolution to be a show of support for the youth shelter and drop-in center to be located at the building currently serving as Monroe Early Child Care at 814 East 16th Street in Loveland, Colorado. And now, therefore, it be resolved by the PSD Board of Education as follows, that the PSD Board of Education hereby supports the grant application and efforts to sustain the operations of a youth shelter in Northern Colorado. Such a shelter provides a transformational opportunity for students to continue their education and decrease the future possibility of adult homelessness.
Excellent. Superintendent?
Thank you. Tonight we're honored to present a resolution in support of the proposed youth homeless shelter, and I would like to emphasize how incredibly grateful we are for the partnerships that are making this project possible. Here to speak to our resolution this evening is our school district's Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Schools, Scott Nielsen. Scott, thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Kingsley and board members. This is a exciting project for me. I think as we look back, prior to the pandemic, many of our community partners began talking about the increased number of homeless students that we were seeing across the region. This was not just a Fort Collins situation, but across the region. And we began looking at what the possibilities were for having a homeless shelter for students under the age of 18, but also a drop-in center. And we recognized all the challenges that came with that kind of shelter. In Larimer County, we tend to focus on students that are not in our school districts. They tend to serve the older populations, and so we kept running into challenges. As we came out of the pandemic, recognizing the numbers continued to increase, the talks intensified. And with the lead of Matthews House and some other nonprofits, the conversation really accelerated, I would say. And so as we speak today, we've got a group of partners that are working very closely as an executive team. They meet weekly to talk about and push this project forward. They include the Matthews House, the Thompson School District, Poudre School District, the Homeward Alliance, Northern Colorado Continuum of Care, Prevention Research out of Colorado State, Larimer County Department of Human Services, and the Thompson Education Foundation. And I think what's important about that is each of those groups play an important role from trying to evaluate and understand the data of homeless youth in the region to what are the best strategies to work and to build this kind of opportunity for students. How do we do the work itself? Thompson has been instrumental with the facility. That was one of the big hurdles for this project for the last 5 or 6 years, was trying to find space for this. But then also calling out the Matthews House, who is willing to be the executive as we run this project. You need to have someone that will take ownership of the project, and Matthews House has stepped into that role and continues to lead that. as we look forward as a district, we have continued to partner along the way, recognizing there isn't a difference between a student that's in Estes or Thompson or Poudre School District in terms of the need. Also recognizing that we appreciate the leadership right now of the first space in Thompson, but taking a look at how do we build this partnership and can it scale as we move forward. The project in Thompson will land somewhere between 12 to 24 beds. They will be open overnight. The model would structure it so that the individuals that are staying overnight would be there during the overnight hours, out of the facility during the day, which allows you then to have a drop-in center for some of the resources that individuals need to get themselves prepared for a job, actually go through the preparation, work with individuals around what they might need to do to continue to put themselves on a trajectory to not need that type of support. And then again, it would roll back to students being able to stay there over the night. So it's a nice model. It's a model that group has had a chance to see in other places. Boulder Valley has a wonderful shelter that's been in place for a number of years and continues to look at scaling that model. So I just want to say for the executive group that's working on this, I know they're appreciative, we're appreciative of this board's resolution this evening, but also the support that this board has for some of our most at-risk youth. And it's been a challenge to continue to think about how we serve, provide them the resources they need so they can ultimately come to us and be prepared to do the learning we're going to ask them to do during the day. So again, I think from this group, I would say a big thank you to our board for the resolution this evening.
Great. Does anybody from the board have comments or questions? Go ahead, Jess.
I just want to say, Scott, I really appreciate that you're the one that is speaking to it, because I remember a few years ago you attended a conference and I just happened to be meeting with you right after you'd went, and it was about student homelessness, and it really impacted you at that moment. So knowing that you've had the chance to kind of see something through fruition and continue moving with that, I hope it makes you feel a sense of pride that it's happening, but also keeps you motivated to keep it going. Thank you.
Thank you.
DJ.
I just want to share how excited I am by the partnership and the focus for these kids. At a legislative CASB meeting, Dawn from Thompson School District was so excited about it. She was volunteering it for, we're thinking about doing a bus tour in the fall for legislators, and she was like, oh, this would be a great one. And you got 2 different districts. She was, come on. So the excitement is out there for it, and appreciate everyone's hard work in making this a reality. This is something that I know it is a shame that we can't find a better way to serve these families, and the craziness that we've had already in our community of trying to break up the family to be able to have a place to sleep has been unfortunate. I know the church I go to, they've done services or done they've opened up their doors for it a couple times, and it is a true challenge to try to be able to find that in this community. So I applaud everyone for getting together and making it happen. Thank you.
Go ahead, Nate.
Ditto.
Well said. Okay. Other comments or questions? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was, thank you. No, I also want to say thank you. And I just also want to remind the community that you never know who's experiencing homelessness. And homelessness, it looks different on everybody. It can be, the people that you think of in your head when you hear that word immediately. It can be anybody who may not have a consistent roof over their head. It may be somebody who's couch surfing. It may be somebody who is staying with a friend for an extended period of time. It may be unfortunately, LGBT students who have been turned out of their own home because they simply are who they are. And it may be that the person you're sitting next to at the library, who is extremely well-dressed and has a suitcase with them, is not actually going to the airport. They may actually be living out of their suitcase. So I just want to express to people that we cannot determine what homelessness looks like. We cannot determine by that which students we are going to be helping. And that is a wonderful thing because we will be helping all of our students. We're helping all of our students to be able to know that they have a safe place to go to, that they can then come to school and actually focus on the learning process and not have to worry about where am I going to eat, where am I going to sleep, am I going to be safe? Because when those things are not met, there's absolutely no way you can learn your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So thank you so much for your willingness to work with Larimer County as a whole, with TSD, with Estes, because what we're doing is we're doing what's best for children. So much thanks.
Go ahead.
I just want to, just a couple last thoughts, at least from me. One, I want to say thank you to all of the comments. DJ, I think your statement is profound around trying to look, and I do believe, as I'm watching this project go forward, that we're figuring out how to remove some roadblocks, which will make it easier to replicate. And so that is super exciting for me because we've bumped up against roadblocks several times that you feel like they're removable. And so to start to see us breaking some of those down is exciting. And last, I would just like to thank Liz Davis, who's put in a tremendous amount of time from our team here. She's a tremendous resource for the district in lots and lots of ways, but she's been a connector to lots of the resources on this project. So I just want to call her out specifically because she's done a fantastic job in this project.
Excellent. Appreciate it. If there are no other comments, Jill, I'll ask for a vote on this resolution.
DJ Anderson,
Aye.
Jim Brokish,
Aye.
Nate Donovan,
Aye.
Kristen Draper,
Aye.
Rob Pedersen,
Aye.
Carolyn Reed,
Aye.
Jessica Zamora.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.